In this week's game, we get dropped into a lush tropical island full of crafting, farming, and adventure, which, can get a little boring. Unless, maybe I could work with a friend to help gather resources and complete quests.
Hey Dad, need some help with that chest? This game supports 2-player co-op. It would be even better if we could get Timmy to play with us.
I think you're absolutely right. With all the resource gathering and fetch quests this game has, I think having more players would be great. Let's get all the laptops together and have a little LAN party in the living room.
A 4-player game with Mom. That would be awesome.
What the heck?
And this is our review of
Luma Island Pirates.
I'd like to thank the publisher for providing me a review copy of the game.
It was developed and self-published by
Feel Free Games.
The game released last year to the Steam Marketplace and recently released a huge pirate expansion update for the price of $19.99.
I'm guessing you clicked on this video because of the bright and cozy art style of the environment and characters. Maybe it was a similarity to something like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon. Well, you're right, and I'm glad to say this is probably the game for you. When I was originally looking at this game trying to decide whether I was going to take the review or not, the screenshots and trailer portrayed a game that had quest lines, exploration, crafting, farming, and cooperative gameplay. And once again, I'm proud to say, they delivered. And now with pirates!
There she blows.
Now, Luma Island starts out like most other cozy RPG quest farming sim games. Jeez, is that a thing? I think it is. I'm gonna call it that. They drop you into a sparse environment with a few basic tools just to learn the basic navigations and the upgrade grind. There is a lot of resource grinding in this one. Really, actually, that's all it really is. Just resource grinding and fetch quests. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. We're out of here. That's the end of the review. See you guys later. No. I've really got to tell you that the grinding, exploration, and the reward for doing so feels like so much more. The various regions, caves, and caverns provide a bit more depth and actually feels like more of an adventure game. And I know some of the textured graphics are blown out and have kind of a Nintendo style of muddy pixels, like the building roofs, but this all feels intentional and stylized rather than a forced handicap. I played a lot of games recently with a locked or forced camera angle, so it was very freeing to have the ability to swing the camera around and see exactly where my character was going. Listen close, devs, because this is the way.
This is the way.
And let's not forget the co-op! The game supports a 4-player co-op that can drastically cut down the time required on all these damn fetch quests. Go get the wood, go get the iron, go get the ore.
Go get me a pail of water. Go get tomato seeds.
So I need some weird jungle leather.
Hey, who has any of those purple energy balls?
I'm not kidding you. You're gonna spend a lot of time resource gathering. Let's not forget all the time spent exploring, farming, crafting, and creature collecting. This is Luma Island, isn't it? The dev even threw in 3 difficulty modes that can be changed on the fly. In case for whatever reason you were getting bored walking by all the enemies, you can choose to have them attack you. They've got cozy mode where there's no combat unless you choose it. That's on you. There's adventure mode, a mix of chill and challenge. Okay. And then there's the hero mode. More danger, tougher enemies. Let's go! Now, I knew the multiplayer was an important part of the experience here, so I went ahead and bought the game on my daughter's account so she could join me in co-op, which I had to actually force a little, as she prefers 3D action games over the 3/4 view perspective. Whatever! Get over it! And you know what? She did. Totally. After about 20 minutes into the gameplay and farm building, she said,
Dad, I would actually play this on my own for fun.
So I guess she did end up approving of the gameplay. The game definitely takes off, and like any other cooperative experience, being able to communicate your needs and work together towards a common goal is actually where this game really shines. It would have been nice if there would have been some multiplayer specific events that require teamwork to complete, like Unraveled or It Takes Two, work together, here we go. Exploring pirate coves and dungeons were a definite plus, as the difficulty slider made things a little bit more spicy.
What the fuck?
And there are multiple activities to seek out in the game, like fishing, which works exactly like you'd expect. If anything, I kind of felt like it was a standard flat mechanic as a way to, you guessed it, fetch more resources, which I have to say are abundant and littered everywhere. So it's not really a problem, just takes time. And if you're a fan of the channel, I'm sure you're just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. Here it comes. It's my pet peeve.
Ow, you just want she gonna say they need them voice actors.
And no, actually. I think in this format, the text works well enough. I'm usually pretty hard on developers who don't take time to add little details like hidden treasure, Easter eggs, or interactive objects to engage the character and pull them into the world, encouraging exploration and discovery. On point with this one is every time I looked around the back alley of a building or behind a corner bush, it seemed like I was rewarded with another chest full of resources. Well done, guys. You hid stuff in exactly the places I was looking. Resource gathering is definitely still part of the heart of the gameplay here. Jeez, I've said that like 20th times or something. But honestly, it's like to move forward and progress in the game, you gotta go fetch 20 bird feathers and 5 strings and 5 nails to make darts. Okay, great, I got it. Now fetch 10 conch shells, 20 boards, 5 berries, rinse and repeat. The fetch quests just never end, do they? It's not really a huge problem because resource drops never seem to be too far out of reach, and the world was so inviting and rewarding to go and explore. Many times I found myself distracted by something new and found it hard to focus on a single task, which is supposed to be what you actually want from a video game, right? Entertainment, not repeated task completion. That's work, man. And as you've probably seen tagging around behind me, you're given a little companion pet that follows you around and scouts for treasure, which is a cute addition. But as soon as you can swap him out for your dog and cat for a Luma, they'll act more like a vital companion rather than a pet. You can build out farms and raise them suckers like a bunch of hens or hogs, if you want. Base game is great here. It all feels like a modern mix of Stardew and A Link to the Past. I've been looking for an excuse to work this one into our schedule, and with the release of the new Pirates Cove edition this year as a free expansion to the original game, it was a no-brainer. Not to mention, they've also been updating the cosmetics for autumn and now winter seasons, adding new decorations, outfits, and hats, and a new Luma for you to unlock. So, if you haven't played for a while, the environments may look a little different. The Pirates Cove fits perfectly within the island theme, as they were able to tuck little caverns and shipwrecks all around on the outside of the island. The extended DLC seems more like an intentional build that's right in scope with the vanilla gameplay, just more adventurous. The game was far from perfect, and I probably rated it higher than it deserves, because even after spending 2 weeks with this title, I'm still excited to get back to it and finish the storylines with my daughter. The controls were perfect for the controller, so I really wish they would consider porting this one to consoles, as it would be a great companion for a road trip on something like the Nintendo Switch. And I've probably said it multiple times that the fetch quests here really aren't that bad due to the abundance of resources, but, you know, they're still there, and they take up about 80% of your gameplay, only to turn around and have to gather more items to craft the next objective. This all wears thin after a while, and probably led a lot to my wandering and exploring around the island for something else to grab my attention. The overall island felt small, and I would have loved to sail like to nearby islands beyond the new biomes that are part of the original storyline. To get like underwater gear, I don't know, go explore the depths of the ocean through some side quests that detour you from maybe the main storylines, which there are multiple. It would have been fun to see some more powerful machines for land clearing and maybe weapons for something that made Phil a little bit more adventurous. But I do realize that this is a feel-good, cozy farming title, so I guess we could just leave the guns on the battlefield. Obviously, I had a blast with this title. From the bright, colorful, magical world, stylized characters, and bubblegum pop graphic style, Luma Island was a wonderful vacation for my eyes, in which I cannot wait to return to, and therefore, we gave it a damn near perfect score with 4.5 beans out of 5.
Yeah, well, that wraps up that review right there. Here's some notes I took. Where I put the keys to the truck.
So, we make these new review videos every week, so if you're an indie developer or there's something you want to see,
I'm gonna be ramping up and slamming multiple titles a week through the end of the year.
let us know your thoughts and recommendations in the comments down below. Be sure to visit again next week
as we continue to take humorous stabs at some of the industry's new and upcoming titles.
Tomato Santas. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on the farm.
Luma Island. Dad, I would actually play this for fun.